Hey everyone, welcome to a new video here on the new channel. I know I haven't posted in a really long time, but I wanted to go ahead and make this video because I want to kind of share my experience after getting banned from Merch by Amazon for the past about 3 years. This was a video that I recorded back in 2021, as you guys can see. That was basically me announcing to people that my account was terminated. And it's pretty interesting that I could go back in time and kind of watch these videos. We're here in 2024 now, and I could look back and kind of say that, it probably was for the best. And to put things into consideration, guys, when I was having the Merch by Amazon account, you could look at some of my older videos, and you can kind of see how I was doing. And I would, on the low months, maybe range about $500-$600. On the high months, maybe about $800. And I didn't have my Merch by Amazon account for a long time by any means. I had it for maybe a few months. I mean, maybe 6-7 months. I remember hitting tier 500 at around, I believe it was the 5th or the 6th month, and that was tier 500. And for those who don't know, maybe about a year and a half after I bought a Merch by Amazon account, it was a brand new account, 0 sales, 0 design, 0 everything. And I was uploading to that, and the first week I had made something like $80 or something like that. So, for me, Merch by Amazon was very easy, very, very easy formula to make money. But obviously, as you guys know, I was banned. Now, I don't want to sit here and act like it wasn't my fault. It was 100% my fault. I 100% deserved it. And I actually revealed here in this video 2 years ago the design that actually caused my account to get terminated. It was the very last design that I had created, and I kind of showed the trademarks and everything about it, but this was the design. It was a Hydra. It says Hydra, which is like a multi-headed dragon, and it says Hydra on it, and I just used the title Hydra in the title, and that was the very last design that got me banned. And the reason why I'm even making this video is, like I said, I want to share kind of a progress report. And I gave you guys the backstory here because maybe some of you guys haven't seen my videos, not some of you, probably 99% of you haven't seen my videos 3-4 years ago. So with that being said, I kind of wanted to talk about that. It's been nothing but positive. And if you actually go back and watch the video where I was talking about me getting banned, I wasn't sad. I wasn't broken emotionally. I wasn't defeated by any means. And excuse me, had to cough there for a second. I wasn't broken down by any means because at the time, I was, first of all, I was already diversified income-wise. I was already making good money, and it didn't change my life. An extra $800 a month didn't really change at all. In fact, I wouldn't have noticed it in my bank account regardless. I don't say that to brag, but I say that to emphasize a point with you guys, and this is where it opened the door for me, kind of the knowledge behind, or the idea behind the diversification. And I spoke about this before, and anybody who consistently watches my channel knows that I always say the best thing you could do for your business is diversify. If you're uploading content with stock photography, don't be afraid to add another website in and start adding content on there. When one website doesn't pay, you have 4, 5, 6, 10 other websites that will pay. The reason why I even had this mentality is because it was kind of like a moment for me of just sitting back, being thankful, and just being aware that if I had only relied on Merch by Amazon to make money, what would I do with my life? I would have lost everything. But to me, like I said, it didn't really matter. It didn't make a difference. Of course, it was a loss, but it didn't affect me. It didn't bother me, not even for a second. For some people, it's the greatest devastation. And mind you, it's a devastation because they're making money. So, for example, I get people messaging me where they'll have their Redbubble account that doesn't make them any money. They have over 1,000 designs on there, and then they'll complain and be sad that they lost their account, which is normal, right? But it doesn't even make them money. Imagine if the account made them money. right? Imagine if the account made them a lot of money, $1,000 a month, 1,500 a month, 2,000. Then what would happen? They would be completely broken. And part of the reason why they would be completely broken is, number one, because they're not diversified, and number two, the majority of their money comes from that platform. And I've always realized very, very early on that these platforms are not really here for you. They're here for themselves, and they're giving you the opportunity to help them grow. So for me, I just play the game the same way they're playing. If they want to get as many users as possible to their platforms that can grow their business, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to put myself in a situation or a scenario that will give me the chance to have as many options to go or to upload and to make money through. And that's the best thing for me. And I can't stress that enough. A lot of people say, oh, let me do this, let me focus on just this or focus on just that. And I agree. I definitely understand that there's a time for everything and a place for everything. And sometimes you should just focus on one platform. But overarchingly, like the overall generalized point of view, in my opinion, the best point of view is to look at it in a way where everything is temporary. No matter if it's your Redbubble store or even a website that you own, everything is temporary. And maybe not necessarily because it will be taken away from you, but because things can't exist forever. And so you always need to have an exit plan. And when you start a business like that, kind of understanding that it's not going to last forever, you're more aggressive with the things that you do. You're more confident in the decisions that you make. And I'll put this into perspective. The reason why I have no worries creating 10, 15, 20 accounts on Redbubble is because it doesn't matter. It's all going to come down to zero at the end of the day anyway. One of these days, everything that we once knew is not going to exist. I could give examples of different companies and different business that were great at one point in time but went out of business. That's the reality of things. So I'm not relying on any platform, and I'm not allowing any platform to control me. A lot of the times, as soon as people make money somewhere, they allow it to control them, right? And the amazing thing is nobody really thinks about this when they sign up for the platform, right? So if you're signing up to Redbubble for the first time, you're excited, you're motivated, you don't think about one day that platform is going to have absolute control over you mentally. You're going to upload to only that platform because you're addicted to the money that it brings you. You don't think about it that way. You think about it like, oh, I want an opportunity. I want to make more money. I want to make more passive income. And then finally, when you get into that position, you find yourself saying, okay, would I rather upload to, these other platforms, or should I just keep uploading to the platform that makes me money? And logically, you say to yourself, no, let me keep going to the place that earns me income. But the reality is that's a hold on you. You're literally kind of enslaved via invisible shackles, right? So for me, like I said, I went back in time into this video, and I'm kind of looking at my reaction and listening to the things that I was saying. And I wasn't broken, I wasn't demotivated, and I still remember that day. It was kind of like something that in my head, I always expected the worst. Like, I always kind of predicted the worst. Now, once again, I deserved what I got. I created a design that I should not have created. It was trademarked, it was copyright, whatever word you want to call it, and it was rejected by Amazon. Now, do I sit there and blame Amazon for it? Absolutely not. I got what I deserved, and there's no, for me, I'm indifferent towards it. I'm not sad about it. I'm not happy about it. It's really neutral. And once again, I look at it like they didn't take really anything away from me, even if I was making $500 to $800 passive a month. And like I said, I told you guys, I was able to get to tier 500, which is the max tier without a invite, within 5-6 months. It was very, very quickly. And I know majority of people don't do that. I know my first week when I bought the new Redbubble account, when I bought the new Amazon account, first week I was making $80. I know most people don't do that. So I don't use any platform and expect them to be my saving grace. I use the platform and I completely understand that it's a temporary thing. It might last for a year, it might last for 10 years, but it's not going to last forever. And I just kind of wanted to share this with everybody because I've been in your shoes. If you've ever been banned before, if you've ever had your account taken away from you, think about it this way. How much money were you making from the account? If you made a lot from the account, of course it's a loss. Of course it's difficult for some people. But it will only be difficult if you're relying on that account. If you never relied on that account and that account was side income, then it wouldn't matter anyway. It's almost like, imagine if you had $100,000 in the bank and somebody decided to scam you out of $100. Of course it's a loss, but to you, does it really affect you? No, you don't really care. You'll just move on, and you'll forget about it the next day. So vice versa. I mean, if you had $400 in your account and somebody scammed you for $100, that's a problem now. Now it's something you have to run after because that's 25% of everything you own. So to put things into perspective, guys, the best thing you could do is don't wait. Do not be reactive, but be proactive. Don't wait for a hard time to be able to make a move. Do it now. Go create other accounts on other sites. Go invest in other sites. Start websites with different sites. Do everything in your power to move forward so that when a tragedy comes, you'll be perfectly fine. So I was perfectly fine here. There's nothing really that affected me, but it did kind of solidify to myself a thought. I said, in my head, I remember this day. In my head, I said, wow, if I wasn't making money on this platform and that platform, and I wasn't having my blogs and doing all this kind of stuff, if I didn't have all that and I was just relying on merch, no matter how much money I was making, whether it be $10K, $800, or $5K a month, it doesn't matter. I would have lost everything I would have had. There are many people listening to this today that all the money they make is from Etsy. All the money they make is from merch by Amazon. All the money they make is from Redbubble. There are people who all the money they make, every penny comes from Zazzle. You need to be able to diversify. I can't stress that enough. But I wanted to kind of, like I said, revisit this 3 years later, being terminated or banned from merch by Amazon. What's my experience? My experience is exactly the same as it was the day I got banned. I do not care. It does not affect me. It doesn't bother me. It doesn't make me sad. It doesn't hurt me in any way. And once again, is simply because I had other resources that I was working towards and I was preparing for a storm early on. And I'm telling you guys should do the same. It's very rare when I say to people, you should do the same. Sometimes I'll say try your best or try this or try that. But in this case, for one of the many things I would say, absolutely diversify in your overarching kind of conception of where your business is going to go. Is it better to diversify or go hard all on one thing? It depends on the season. So if you're learning something new, yes, you go hard on that one thing. But after you've learned it, after you made a little bit of money, then it's time to diversify. It's time to grow and expand other things because just in case something happens to that business, you're able to move forward. So I'm not going to take this, expand for too long on this. I already said my piece. But I'll talk to you guys later. Hopefully this video was beneficial. And once again, guys, go out there, diversify. And when you rest your head at night, you don't have to worry about the only income source you have being taken from you. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace out. Bye.